The explosion was entirely Nobita's fault, which surprised absolutely no one, least of all the time machine itself, which had developed something resembling anxiety over it. The years of being misused by a child who couldn't be trusted with a pencil sharpener, let alone advanced temporal technology. It began, as most
disasters did, with Nobita trying to avoid doing his homework. I just need to go back 15 minutes. I'll grab my homework from the past. Again, Nobita? Fine, let's go. Be careful out there. Hurry back out. Don't mess it up. Me, copy the answers and return before anyone notices. That's not how homework works. Past you also didn't do the homework. You're
just relocating the problem through time.
But future me might have done it.
Future you is currently you, and you haven't done it, so future...
You also won't have done it unless you do it now. Which makes you present you doing the homework, which is what you should be doing anyway.
Nobita's brain, which had been following the explanation with the intensity of a dog watching a magic trick, gave up entirely.
I understood. None of that, so I'm going to time travel anyway. Before Doraemon could stop him, Nobita had already yanked open his desk drawer, the gateway to
the time machine's temporal parking space, and dove headfirst into the swirling vortex that connected their present to the time stream. Doraemon lunged after him, his round body squeezing through the drawer with significantly more difficulty than Nobita's noodle-like frame. He tumbled into the time machine's cockpit, landing directly on the top of Nobita, who had somehow already managed to get tangled in the seatbelt in a way that defied both physics and common sense.
Nobita, what have you done this time? I don't know, it just happened. How are you stuck in the seatbelt? You literally just got in here. I have a talent for immediate chaos. That's not a talent,
That's a condition! The time machine, sensing the presence of its most frequent abuser, began to hum with nervous energy.
If machines could sigh,
One would have needed therapy by now. Its control panel flickered with dozens of buttons, switches, and displays that Nobita had never bothered to learn, preferring instead the random button-pressing approach to temporal navigation.
Okay, 15 minutes into... the past. That's all I need. Dope!
Backward through time, but sideways in a direction that shouldn't have existed. Warning lights that neither of them had ever seen before began flashing in colors that probably weren't meant for human eyes. A siren wailed in a pitch that made Doraemon's whiskers vibrate uncomfortably.
What did you do?
I pulled the lever.
The wrong lever!
There's more than one lever?
There are 17 levers, Nobita! 17! How have you been using this machine for years without knowing that?
I usually just pull the big one.
The big one is the emergency temporal ejection. It's for escaping time.
Paradoxes! The time machine was now spinning through what could only be described as the space between moments, a shimmering void of pure temporal energy where
Past, present, and future existed simultaneously, and none of them were particularly happy about it. And then, with a sound like a cosmic hiccup, everything stopped. The spinning ceased, the sirens quieted, the lights stabilized into a soft, unfamiliar glow, and on the main display screen, words appeared that neither Nobita nor Doraemon had ever seen before. Hidden feature menu unlocked. Welcome to the time machine's secret functions.
Whoa, a secret feed with time machine's hidden functions. Let's see what's inside.
A list appeared. 1. Temporal echo chamber. 2. Parallel cinema browser. 3. Mbrak 4. Chronoline by Mosa Grazraz. Nobita and Doraemon stared.
Did you know about these? I did not know about these.
I got this time machine from the 22nd century. I read the manual. The manual did not mention secrets.
Maybe the manual was boring. And you skipped parts? I don't skip parts of manuals. I'm a responsible robot cat. You fell asleep during the instruction video for the memory bread. That video was 8 hours long. The bread was only supposed to be used for 5 minutes. That's not the point. The time machine.
apparently tired of waiting, made a decision for them. Option 1. Temporal echo chamber suddenly highlighted itself and activated because even advanced temporal technology had apparently decided that Nobita and Doraemon couldn't be trusted to make choices. The world outside the time machine's windows transformed. Instead of the swirling void of the time stream, they now found themselves inside what appeared to be an enormous crystalline cave. The walls were made of something that looked like frozen moments, glimpses of events trapped in translucent surfaces like flies in amber. Nobita could see images of himself at various ages, as a baby crying, as a toddler falling downstairs, as a 5-year-old failing his first test, as his current self continuing to fail tests. This is the temporal echo
Chamber. It's a space where echoes of time events are preserved. Things that happened, things that almost happened, and things that wanted to happen but gave up.
Things that wanted to happen?
Apparently time has preferences. Who knew? They stepped out
of the time machine onto the crystalline floor, which chimed musically with each footstep. The cave stretched endlessly in all directions, filled with countless frozen moments from history. Look at that! Nobita pointed at a nearby crystal formation. Inside it, clearly visible, was an image of Nobita's father as a...
Is that Dad?
It must be when he was courting your mother.
This is an echo of that moment. He looks terrified. Romance is terrifying, Nobita.
Is that why you've never dated?
I'm a...
Robot cat! Also, that's personal!
They wandered deeper into the chamber, marveling at the preserved moments around them. They saw echoes of historical events, samurai battles, ancient ceremonies, the construction of temples. They saw echoes of future events too, flying cars, cities in the clouds, robots that looked significantly more advanced than the...
Hey, those future robots are really sleek. And? Nothing. You're very round. In a good way.
Designed for hugging, not aerodynamics.
But the most interesting echoes were the personal ones. They found moments from their own adventures. The time they visited the dinosaurs, the time they went to space, the time Jian actually sang in tune for exactly one note before reverting to his natural sonic disaster.
This is actually amazing. All these memories preserved forever.
There's more. Watch this. He pressed a button.
And suddenly one of the echoes, a moment of Nobita receiving a terrible test score, began to play. The frozen image came to life, showing young Nobita.
No way! Okay, stop that one. Bad memory. Very bad. Look at this part.
Fast-forwarded the echo, and it showed something Nobita had forgotten. After the shouting, after the tears, his mother had come into his room with a
plate of snacks. She'd sat beside him, hugged him, and told him that one bad test didn't define who he was.
I forgot that part. We often remember the pain and forget the healing. That's what the temporal echo chamber
is for, to see the complete picture. It was a surprisingly touching moment, which meant the universe was about to interrupt it with chaos.
Excuse!
What's wrong, Doraemon?
Me! You unauthorized visitors in the temporal echo chamber! This is a violation of 17 time laws! The crystal formations emerged a figure that was equal parts ridiculous and intimidating. He appeared to be a samurai, but his armor was made of clocks. His helmet had a sundial on top. His sword was shaped like the hand of a timepiece. And his face was the angriest face Nobita had ever seen on someone who was clearly a glorified security guard. I am Kronos the Keeper, guardian of the Echo!
Chamber! You have entered without permission, disrupted the temporal resonance, and most unforgivably, you touched the memory about snacks!
We didn't touch it. We just watched.
Observation is a form of touch in temporal physics. That doesn't make sense.
But how does that work?
Nothing in time travel makes sense. That's why we have rules. Exactly, Jian.